Good evening, folks. See several of you waiting in the chat. Hope I'm not too loud for you. I'm doing adjusting, still trying some different things here. So stick with me. Stand by. We'll get started here in about 18 minutes or so. Go ahead and share out the link with as many people as you possibly can. Make this a big show tonight. Wow, we had a really good one. Got Paul, the SDR Guy. Talk about SDRs, which is fascinating. I don't know a whole lot about it. Looking forward to hearing what Paul's got to share with us. Stand by, folks. We'll get started here in about a minute or so. All right, let's go. You talk about a way to open the show. I don't know what in the heck that's all about. I've got a new device here. Let me give you all a quick look at it. It's a Stream Deck. And so I'm running all of my sounds and stuff out of the Stream Deck. And for some reason, StreamYard is wanting to be really weird about certain things. Hope everybody's doing good. Welcome to HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX. Got an action-packed show tonight. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, it is a new month, so our super chats have reset the super chat goal or super chats records for the month. So we are, you want to get featured? Super chats is the way to do it, really easily. Tonight we have Paul on the show, the SDR guy. He's going to come on and talk about software-defined radios and things like that. And we're going to have a good old time tonight. Looking at the chat, got a few folks in the chat here. Jason's in the house. We'll see him in just a minute. See here. Dave's in the house, of course. We'll see him in a minute, too. Ken, KQ4 STF's here. And that's everybody. And Michael, goodness, I'm not thinking yet tonight, y'all. I got to get my brain working. Michael is doing his, what is it, monthly? You get a free chat, something like that. So let me see if I can make this work right. Hang on. Boom. And boom.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man. All right,
that's his first one. And then we got one more. Got to get Jason's done. This is his for 4 months at the big tier, the radioactive tier. We'll throw his up if I can find it. What'd I do with it? There it is.
money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man. All right, let's.
Appreciate Jason for 4 months. Let's see here. Gary's in the house saying good evening. Ham Radio Guy's here. Good to see him with us tonight. No, he's got some things going on, so he couldn't join us on the cameras tonight. John's in the house as well. AC8XU. I love that call sign. And we just saw Andy pop in here in the background. So let's go ahead and bring in the panel. I think Andy's got just a limited amount of time tonight, so I may give him the floor first here. Let me bring in, got Super Dave's in the house here. I don't know why I wanted to call you Super Dave, but I just did. Whatever.
I don't know about Super Dave.
Let's see here. We got Michael is in the house. Tortoise Overland M3 MFL.
Morning, y'all.
But yeah. Michael, is he old enough to even really know who Super Dave is?
Yes.
I don't know who Super Dave is.
You are, Michael, but I was talking about Josh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. He might know. He might even know how old Super Grover is, or he might be old enough to know who Super Grover.
I'm getting caught with my pants down. I don't know any of these things. Oh well, I have no idea where Super Dave came from. Anyway, KQ4UEI, Jason Ramprat's in the house.
And I know Super Dave.
Well, I guess he's old enough. I guess I'm the little one. Now,
no,
here's
the next one you bring in is going to be the baby.
I was going to say, he's smiling. I can see him in the background. Do you know who this who this Super Dave is, Randy?
I have absolutely not the foggiest idea.
Oh wow! I knew it. Love it.
Not sure I want to know.
Well, good to see you, everybody. Andy, I think you said you've got just a limited amount of time tonight, and you had some stuff you wanted to share.
Time, but I can go ahead and you can go ahead and go around the horn with the other guys and come to me, and we'll do an update for y'all on our World Radio League progress, and then I'm gonna have to dip out. But you can go ahead and go around the horn.
Sounds good. We'll start with Dave. What you got going on, Dave?
Not a whole lot. Work's been taking up most of my time. I actually told everybody from work, unless something breaks tonight, I am done and I'm gonna relax a little bit. So I really haven't been able to do much with my channel. I worked on that antenna that I got from Amazon and the resistor that they sent with it for the 49-to-1 side. I think it's bad, so I haven't been able to test it. Looks like the 9-to-1 side is going to work, but the 49-to-1 side, I'm going to have to figure out that resistor problem.
Interesting. Well, glad you're relaxing with us, I guess you might say. No work tonight. Michael, what's up with you?
Oh, hold on.
We're all eating if y'all haven't figured that out yet.
Ancient Chinese kitty. Anyways, that didn't go down right. Anyways, dude, it's been prep week all week for Near Fest. Going to be up there in the morning. Going to be passing out a lot of these little guys. If you haven't seen them,
cute,
nice.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Is it a stamp?
No, it's like a little wooden token. It says you've been hammed. GetHammed.com.
It's a challenge coin.
Yep.
Yeah. Except it's made out of wood and it's laser cut.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we're I got the camper packed up. It's ready to go. All I need to do is go downstairs, take a shower, pack my bag, and plop in the truck. So we're ready to go. We're gonna be live tomorrow night. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So if anybody's watching tonight and wants to see some ham shenanigans, definitely come over to Live Free and Ham's podcast tomorrow night. It's guaranteed to be entertaining.
Is that a money back guarantee?
Oh no, there's no money back. It's
No
going to be
refunds?
entertaining.
Yeah.
If it's anything like it was last April, it's going to be fun.
All right. Ramp Rat, what's up with you?
Not a whole lot. I am now official All-Star now. Got a Raspberry Pi 5, ASL3, and I've been talking over the world with it. And thanks to Free Mac. I'm going to have to thank him in person for that. But I'm really digging this All-Star. Got another promotion. I am now went from lead to nighttime supervisor, so that's why I haven't been on. I've been busy as a three-legged goat. I get on the radio when I can, but I've been playing a lot of All-Star and loving it. I got the clear note from No Venture. You can do any digital bridge you want, name a man on it. It's endless wonders. Besides that, I've been missing the family and want to get back into it. And that's about all I got for right now.
Well, glad to see you. We've missed you the last couple of weeks.
Thank my work.
Speaking of another party that we've missed the past couple of weeks, it's your turn, Andy.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on tonight. Great to see everybody. So I wanted to hop on and give you all kind of a quick update as to our status at World Radio League. I know we've been putting the message out there to the community that we have a database upgrade in progress. And I just want to let you all know we had that tentatively planned for this week. And of course, as always, when you announce a date, you have a last minute issue pop up. So we have a solid date set now for the upgrade within our team. I'm not going to announce that at this point. You'll get a notification very soon, but it is within a week's time. We have the date set. Within a week's time, we will be releasing that database upgrade. And if you've never gone through the process of building a new database or an upgraded database from the ground up, you have no room to complain about it. So just remember that. But anyways, so we will be pushing that live, and then after that, brace yourselves because you're going to get an absolute flurry of some really exciting things coming in quick succession. So we're super excited. The team is absolutely ready to move on at this point, and we're really excited about what's coming. So we have a lot of things to move on to. If you've requested something, most likely we almost never reject a request. We usually just put it in our queue, and then we prioritize it. And so if you put in a request, remember that it is probably in the queue, but we have a huge queue. So we go through and prioritize those based off of user impact. And so we will be working down through that queue here in the coming months. But super excited, guys. We are. It's just about go time for this upgrade. You guys are going to notice some faster load times on your dashboards, on your leaderboards. But the real impact's going to come when we start releasing some fantastic features that we were just simply restricted on with our old system. So, guys, stay tuned for that. And that's basically the upgrades from the updates from the World Radio League side. And on the ham radio prep side, we've got the satellite and space course out. We've got some projects going on behind the scenes. You guys will find out about those before too long. Really, really exciting stuff going on. And Jim's still cranking out videos over on the YouTube channel. I'm still cranking out videos on the World Radio League YouTube channel. I believe Jim just did a video on the current situation with the FCC. If you're applying for a license right now, you've got a bit of a delay due to the state of our government. But But
I
yeah,
didn't even
yeah,
think about
absolutely.
that.
Yep, they shut
Yep.
down. They're not granting new licenses at the moment until the government reopens. So if you're upgrading your license, of course the rules provide that you can use the stroke AG or stroke whatever the extra is.
Alpha Echo.
Stroke AE for transmitting on with your expanded privileges. But if you're applying for a brand new license, sorry, you're a little bit stuck. You're in the queue, but you're stuck until they open back up again. So you can go watch that video for the full context, but over on the Ham Radio Prep YouTube channel. But anyway, that's the updates right now. Josh, thank you so much for having me on. I'm not going to be able to stay much longer, but I appreciate you guys having me on, and I hope you have a great stream.
Old Debbie Downer there.
Who,
Say
me?
what now?
No, Andy.
What about me?
I said, old Debbie Downer telling these new technicians they can't get on the air because they can't get their license. And
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
say something, Andy. You said you can't complain unless you've done a database upgrade.
Yeah,
I've done majors, so I guess I can complain all kinds, huh?
You can complain all you want to, but just please do it offline. I beg you. You're one of our nicer complainers, Dave. I don't care if you complain.
I thought what you were going to say, Dave, is he's like a lot of folks here in the South. Hate to eat and run.
Oh, well, that too. But no, I can vouch, Andy. I know. There's been many times that we got right at the start of our database rollout upgrade and had to roll back because something blew up.
But I'm telling you, we got a hard internal launch date set. It's within a week, and we'll be pushing notifications here very soon. So look out for that.
Andy?
Go ahead.
When is the desktop app coming out?
The desktop
I know
app
it's coming.
after.
I know it's coming.
By all means, afterwards. But we put up a poll in our Discord, and that was we had a couple of options there for what the preferred next feature sprint would be for us to work through, and the desktop app is the preferred sprint. So if all of our developers are good with that and James is good with that, then that will be finalizing that. I think we've already got the rough structure put together and kind of a working prototype. But once we get that all put together and finalized, then hopefully it won't be very many weeks and you'll see a desktop app. So that's what I'm hoping for as well. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, Andy, since I've come to the dark side, and I fully went to the dark side, since I went VIP, can I get a free keychain now? Since I went to VIP.
Here we go.
Did you fill out the founding member pin form over on the?
I had the founding pin, but I never got anything from that.
Oh, you okay? I'll ping me through Discord. I'll make sure you get a founding member pin if you signed up for VIP.
Copy.
We'll make sure you get that. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
gotta
I'm
get
talking
with you
about
to upgrade mine.
Go ahead.
What'd you say, Dave?
I gotta get with you to upgrade mine.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you taken care of. Just ping me offline.
Well, appreciate that, and do want to remind everybody, as I was showing at the bottom of the screen, if you are interested in World Radio League, of course it's free to use, but there are some great premium features available, and if you do want those premium features, you can use my coupon code HamShackTV10. You're going to get 10% off your membership fee. And then with Ham Radio Prep, if you're looking to get your, it's going to be a while before you get your license, it looks like. I forgot all about the government shutdown, but if you're looking to get your license or upgrade.
You can still study. You can even
can
take your test. It'll just get submitted, and you'll have to wait till the government opens back up.
Exactly. So we do have a coupon code for that as well. It's HamShackTV. You get 10% off the prices there at Ham Radio Prep, and they're good prices. So this is it. This is like the cherry on top.
The other thing that the federal shutdown is going to affect are parks.
Yeah.
And luckily our governor here in Tennessee came out and said the state of Tennessee is going to fund at least the park rangers for now. So that's a real big thing with the Great Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
But, otherwise it's probably not the same nationwide.
Well, we're probably lucky there too, because a lot of our POTA parks You don't have to worry about having rangers there. They're open parks, and most of them are state conservation areas, so they're not federal land.
Right.
You can't touch that, right, Dave?
Well, the vast majority of POTA parks are not federal. They're mostly states and tribals and things like that. All right. Well,
7-3. Y'all have a great stream. We'll see you later.
Andy.
Thanks, brother. Good to see you. Come back if you get time. We'll be here.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's bring the special guest in tonight. And Jason, there is an astronomical amount of background noise. So if I pull you down, don't be offended. It sounds like a racetrack from time to time.
I was going to say, it sounds like he's got NASCAR in the background.
I'll just mute the mic.
All right, Yep. Let's bring in Paul. Hey, Paul. Sorry to keep you waiting there. We just had to knock out our business here up first.
No problem. So happy to be here today. I, pardon me, just got back from a trip to Ireland and the UK. And the very last stop of the trip was Omaha Beach at Normandy. So I'm still dealing with a little bit of jet lag and dealing with the time change. And speaking of which, the first day back, my wife looked at me and she said, "What are you doing this morning?" And I said, "Nothing." She says, "Okay, well, what are you doing this afternoon?" I said, "The same thing as this morning." Then she says, "What are you doing this evening?" And I said, "Nothing." So I think when you come back from trips like that, something like that is in order. So we've got some exciting things to share with you today about software-defined radios. And I'm going to dip over here. So this is where the magic happens with my SDR videos. You can see a spectrum analyzer, signal generator, couple radios sitting there, and then some musical instruments, which have a lot of fun with those as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen and let's get started.
Yeah, since it pops up for me, I'll add it in here.
Did he freeze?
Nope, he's still trying to get his screen share going here.
He gone.
He's not free. He's not frozen on mine.
Here we go.
He's frozen on mine.
Nope, there it is. There you go, Paul.
Okay.
Yep,
Cool
there we go.
beans.
Hey, panelists, if you don't mind, look at the private chat there.
All right. So today we're going to be giving you a good introduction to SDRs, and I've tried to tailor this to amateur radio folks. And so my call is KI5MIV. My shtick for my YouTube channel is I go by the SDR Guy. Now there's some very special people I want to mention that has helped me a lot and continued to help. I'd like to begin with Gary Schaefer, and I think I saw he is online. In addition to Gary, Don Mills, Jeffrey Mark, and there's a couple of hams that has helped me build custom hardware that I'm building to be used with SDRs. More on that later. I have been a ham since roughly 2018 or thereabouts. And I had a good friend. I lived in Austin, Texas at the time. My friend's name's Marty Porter. His call is N5XS and I visited him, and Amazon came by, dropped off a box. He opened it. I happened to peek into the box, and he said, I've got something really cool to show you. And I said, yeah, what's that? And he said, it's an SDR. And I said, well, what in the world is an SDR? And so I started my journey with that. And so I think that's around 7 years ago. And he said, and Paul, by the way, I'm also a ham radio guy. And he took and showed me his gear. And so I got interested in the amateur radio side of things around about the same time. Well, before we get too far down the road, what is a software-defined radio? Well, it's a radio communication system where traditional hardware, mixers, filters, amplifiers, modulators, demodulators, so on and so forth, are replaced or implemented by software running on a computer or on an embedded system. This is a 20,000 foot high view of how an SDR works. And in an SDR, at the most fundamental level, we're taking an RF signal that comes in, and we're running it through an analog to digital converter, or ADC. And once it's in digital form, then we do a lot of digital signal processing, or DSP. And some of the SDRs, in addition to receiving, can also transmit. And in those cases, they have digital to analog converters. Well, why do we even want to think about using SDRs? Well, there's a number of good reasons. Flexibility. A single SDR can handle many different communication standards or protocols. You know, I'm calling out FM, AM, upper and lower sideband, Wi-Fi, LTE, so on and so forth. And we can do all of this just simply by changing software. And software is easy to upgrade when compared to hardware. Most SDRs also have a wide band capability. They can look at a pretty sizable piece of spectrum at one time. And these things are popular with folks like us, ham hobbyists, researchers, military, and we can invent new modulation techniques if we want, and we can even test them without building any actual hardware. Well, meet the ubiquitous RTL SDR. Now, some of you may have one of these, and if not, I just looked on Amazon. Now, the price used to be a good bit less expensive than this, but with the tariffs, you're looking at $50 US to get started. And we'll come back to this page, and we'll look at a few other SDRs that I can recommend to you. But this is the least expensive way that I know of to open up the door to the many, many different things that you can do with these things. Well, what can we do? Well, we can listen to VHF and HF amateur radio. We can decode APRS packets. We can listen to both upper and lower sidebands. We can listen to satellites and International Space Station. We can decode unencrypted digital voice signals such as P25, DMR, D-star. You can use an RTL SDR as a panadapter for your primary rig. And you can use this also as a poor man's, or I'll jokingly say, hillbilly spectrum analyzer. And I just recently put a video out of doing just that. And the list of applications just goes on and on and on. And when I started my YouTube channel, I thought, well, gee, is this going to be too narrow of a focus? And as it turns out, there's a very, very long runway of things that you can do and learn about with these SDRs. Well, let's take a look at the guts of what's inside one of these little dongles that you plug into your PC. Three main sections. There's a tuner, there's a digitizer, and there's a quadrature demodulator. And the quadrature demodulator has some other names. Some people prefer to call it an IQ mixer. But essentially, the signals, the RF comes in from the antenna. It goes through a mixer. There's a local oscillator, and it brings it down to a intermediate frequency of 3.57 megahertz. And there's a variable gain amp that you see there. Then we go into an analog to digital converter. And there's a crystal inside this thing that's 28.8 megahertz. And that's what at least the maximum sample rate is that we see here. And another interesting thing, you can bring up SDR software, for example, SDR++, which I'm SDR. Pardon me? Was there a question? Okay. Continuing, the quadrature demodulator, we're going to drill down into that. This is very critical. This outputs I, or in phase, and Q, which means quadrature. And so basically this thing is just spitting out numbers. Here's some high-level signal flows for the RTL SDR signal hound, the tuner, digitizer, then the quadrature demodulator, some other popular SDRs, the Hack RF1, USRP, Lime SDR. We have tuner, then quadrature demodulator, then IQ. Well, what is IQ and what's a quadrature demodulator? Well, hold that question. We'll come back to it in a minute. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring up SDR++. And this is probably my favorite go-to piece of software. It's free, and one of the big nice features about this is that it runs on Macs, runs on PCs, it runs on Linux, and believe it or not, I have an Android phone and it runs on that. And lots of capabilities here. I'm not going to explain how this software works, but one of the things you heard me mention a couple minutes ago was IQ signals. So prior to this meeting, I recorded our local amateur radio club's morning net, and I recorded this to what they call a baseband file, and I'm going to just play that back. So the baseband file, which basically just contains a bunch of I numbers and Q numbers, which we'll learn a bit more about in a few minutes. I'll try to turn this up. Not sure if you'll be able to hear this. Jason, Josh, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear this?
I do not. I'm going to try to. There we go. I just adjusted it. We can hear it now.
Okay. At any rate, this is an example of a very popular software.
Hey, start it again, Paul. We could hear it there at the very end. Well, we did hear it. Now we're not hearing it at all. Huh. Not sure what's going on.
Okay, well, there is an example of a very popular piece of software to listen to lots and lots of different amateur radio and beyond. Now, if you have an RTL SDR V4, you can listen in to HF just without doing anything. If you have an RTL SDR V3, the silver one is in my picture, then you have to put the software such as what I just showed you into what they call direct sampling mode. And there, when you use this, since its price point is as it is, the signal to noise ratio is not anything to be too excited about, but it does work. So let's continue. So we showed you SDR++, but what if you could build your own radio software to do whatever in the world you wanted to do? Well, you can, and this software, it's free, readily available. I've got videos showing you how to install this and get going. Well, what is GNU Radio? Well, it's an open source software development kit used to build and simulate the SDRs. It provides signal processing blocks that can be connected together to process real world signals. Examples being radio, television, satellite, cellular communications, and we're doing all of this in software. And you don't need to know how to program to do this. Well, the GNU Radio comes with a library of ready-to-use blocks. And this includes almost everything you could think of: filters, modulators, demodulators. You can do FFTs. And what you do with these things is you build flow graphs. It's a pictorial diagram where you have an input and output. And this works with many different SDRs, but you can also simulate things without even using an SDR. And this also runs on Linux, Mac, and Windows. So right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch over to GNU Radio. And it takes a minute to start up. Sorry, I had another piece of software started up and it locked up. So one moment. Okay, here we go. So this is the actual spectrum analyzer that I put out in a video. Special thanks to Gary Schaefer on this one. And what I'm going to do before I run this is I'm going to start a new one. So the basic idea is that you create a new flow graph and it gives you a couple of blocks to start with. And then you can come over here and search for what you want. So I want a signal source. So I simply click on this and hold the left mouse button, drag it over here on the canvas of wherever I want it. And for simplicity's sake and to save time, we're not going to actually build the signal generator, but I'm going to just show you here how this thing works. So I'm going to grab a time sink here, and I'm not going to be actually using a piece of hardware. So if you're simulating something and you're not using hardware, you need to use a throttle. And the reason why I use that is so that this thing just doesn't hog your CPU. And you just left click on the output of one and drag it and release your mouse. And that's how this thing works. And again, I have YouTube videos that goes into more depth on this, but let's go ahead and run it. Well, you've always got to give it a title. So we're going to just give it a title, then we click save, and then it will run it. And so essentially what we've done here is we have a 1 kilohertz cosine wave. And notice you're seeing, if we zoom in on a little bit of this, notice that you're seeing actually a couple of different waveforms, and this will make more sense to you later. We're looking at both I and Q here. You can think of this as a cosine wave being the in phase and the sine wave as being the quadrature, but more on that later. So this is how easy it is to create a flow graph. So let's come back over to this spectrum analyzer. And if you buy one of these SDRs, you're going to want to, for example, if you have one of the UV5Rs, which yes, that was one of the first handy talkies I bought. That thing has all kinds of spurious emissions. It's illegal, but you can test it with this thing. But you're going to need to use some attenuators uh, between the antenna and the SDR. So on Amazon, you can buy these little tin waters, or there's little quarter waters that you can get and insert in there. So be aware that we'll need to do that. So let's go ahead and run this flow graph. Okay, so notice here we have our spectrum analyzer, and there's some things I want to bring to your attention before we delve into this more. Notice this spike that's occurring at 0 hertz, or in the SDR world, we often refer to this as DC. So why does this happen? Well, we work with imperfect hardware, and there's some different reasons that can cause this spike. One is what they call IQ imbalance. There's also a local oscillator that can create some leakage. And then there's also some offset from our analog to digital converter. So I know that's weird looking, but that's what that is. So if you notice, there's RF gain here, and we can change the frequency. And I've got it tuned into basically the AM radio broadcast band. But notice that there's an oscilloscope here. This is the time sync. And if you do this, you want to bump the RF gain up to get close to 1 if you can. But you don't want it to clip. Okay, let's go with that. And many of you have radios where you have waterfalls. Well, guess what? We can do waterfalls here. But now let's go back to our full spectrum. And where you see these spikes here, if we hover over them with the crosshair, we can get the frequencies. And these are AM radio stations. So whatever we are currently tuned to, then we can click on this tab, which is a zoom spectrum, and then it will zoom in just in this particular case, 100 kilohertz bandwidth. So this is another example of something that can be quite useful to amateur radio folks. Okay, how many of you remember the TV show Lost in Space? And they had this robot on there that would wave its arms like this and warning, warning. Well, the next few slides might cause your head to explode. And before I start covering this, it is not essential for you to understand the, some of the math stuff that we're going to be talking about here. But if you can spend if you can give it a try, then it can give you further insight into how this stuff works. Well, we're going to start out with using imaginary numbers. What's an imaginary number? It's the square root of -1. Well, there's no such thing as that. So this is a made up thing, but it has all kinds of practical uses, which we're going to get to soon. So in engineering, electronics, instead of an I here, you're going to be seeing J. And this is what this thing is. And I pretty much said, we're using it in circuits and we're using it in signal processing, many other uses for it as well. Well, now we're going to talk about complex numbers. Complex numbers has both a real part and an imaginary part. And an example here is 5 plus 3i is a complex number. Well, if we look at this on a complex plane, many of you may remember from school years ago, you had the x-axis and the y-axis was vertical. And in this case, we're making this axis the complex axis. Okay. Now we're going to look at this quadrature demodulator. And again, other names for it's IQ mixer, and there are other names. But basically, the input signal comes in, and then there's a cosine wave, and there's a sine wave that, this is basically a mixer, it multiplies it, and the output of it in both cases goes through a low pass filter. And at the top is your in phase or I, and the bottom is quadrature or Q. And essentially, when this, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Pardon me. Let's continue. So here's an example. If you take the cover off this RTL SDR, this thing is spitting out IQ, IQ, IQ. And these are just numbers, okay? Well, some other key concepts for all these SDRs is sampling. And to learn about this, we have to understand the Nyquist theorem, which says to accurately reconstruct a continuous signal from its samples, the sampling rate must be twice the highest frequency present in the signal. Here's a good practical example. I know we're not using CDs too much these days, but theoretically, a baby has a hearing range up to about 20 kilohertz. And so to sample this thing for CD quality sound, we would need a minimum of twice that highest frequency, which would be 40 kilohertz. But in the real world, we have to bump it up beyond that. So this is why we're using a frequency of 44.1 kilohertz to sample for CD quality audio. If we look at a continuous sine wave, which is plotted in red, and if we look at discrete samples, these are just dots. And I know some of you may be tempted to connect these dots with straight lines or come up with some kind of stair step. And if you do, that would be incorrect. These are just numbers. And notice that there's positive numbers, and when it dips down here, negative numbers. So whenever we're sampling, we have to be aware of this thing called aliasing. And this occurs when a signal is sampled at a rate that is too low to capture its changes accurately. As a result, different signals become indistinguishable or appear of aliases of each other after sampling. How many of you watched the Beverly Hillbillies TV show way back when? Well, probably some of you did. And the car that they were driving in, if you looked at it closely, the wheels looked like they were going backwards when they were actually going forward. And this is a practical example of aliasing. Here's a concrete example. Let's say we've got a 9 hertz signal and we sample it at 10 hertz. The Nyquist frequency is half the sampling frequency, or 5 hertz. So in this particular case, the alias will appear, it's going to be the 9 hertz signal minus 10, which leaves minus 1. And if you notice, we've got absolute value here, which gives us 1 hertz. So why am I saying all this is, you have to be careful about this, because in this case, we would be seeing a fake signal of 1 hertz. Well, it's simple enough to fix this. We want a sample greater than or equal to twice the maximum frequency. We want to use also an anti-aliasing filter. Use a filter before sampling to remove frequencies that's above the sampling frequency divided by 2. And we do this so no high frequencies fall back. And I gave you this analogy already. So when we're doing our signal processing, there's a couple other key things we need to get a basic understanding of. And this is called interpolation and decimation. And I should mention that you always work with whole samples. You can't have partial samples. And too many samples means too many computations and also too much storage. So how can we deal with this? Well, we can increase the sampling rate and we can decrease the sampling rate with integer values. And integer numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 65. It's not 27.42 as an example there. So with interpolation, the basic process, if we want to increase the sampling by a factor of 8 for each sample that comes in, we would add 7 zeros to it. And then it's really, really critical to mention that that then needs to go through a low pass filter. And if time permits, we will show you why that is true. Well, sometimes we need to decrease the sampling rate. So this is called decimation. And what this means is we're throwing away samples. So if we're decimating by 3, then for every 3 samples, you keep the first one and throw the next 2 away. Well, we can graph samples by including the real part, the in-phase part, and the complex part. And so each sample is a complex number. And we can find the magnitude of this particular number. And notice I've got I squared plus JQ squared raised to the 1/2 power. Well, the 1/2 power is just the square root of this thing. And why is this important? Well, we'll see. We'll see in another couple of slides, but we can also figure out the phase, and that's very easy to do. And this is what it boils down to. So when we're working with this stuff, we want to be able to demodulate AM. We want to do the same thing for phase and for FVM. So for phase, we're taking the arctangent of Q divided by I. And for FVM, we're basically taking the current sample and subtracting the prior sample and dividing that by the sample period. And the moral of this story, once you get used to the complex numbers, it makes everything a lot easier than it would otherwise be. How many of you have ICOM 7300s? Well, here's a fun fact. The sampling rate is a little over 124 megahertz, and it can digitize the entire HF spectrum after filtering out some unwanted frequencies so we don't overload or clip the analog to digital converter. It is then down converted in the digital domain. Now, I'll pause here for a moment. In higher end SDRs, this is not the little RTL SDR, and higher end ones, to include many of our ham radios today, they are using FPGAs to do the signal processing. And these things are super, super fast, and you can do many different things in parallel. And as a side note, I'm learning how to, you don't say program these things. If you do, the FPGA guys will almost shoot you. You create these things called hardware description language files that configures these things. It is interesting to note that there is some aliasing in this radio at VHF frequencies, but it's outside of what we're interested in. So now we're going to switch to GNU radio again, and now, compared to what we've looked at so far, this is, there's a lot of things going on here. And what I did is I used SDR to capture an IQ file. And this is just some people talking on HF. So let's go ahead and run this. So let me be a little clearer here. What we've done here is we've built our own HF receiver, and we're using this real inexpensive RTL SDR. But if we were using a much more capable SDRs, then we would have specs per se that certainly rival the best of our ham desktop transceivers. So notice here that we're using zoom spectrum again, and sorry you can't hear the audio, but there's people talking. And notice the red area in the full RF spectrum. What we're doing is we're zooming in on that, and that's what we're seeing in the waterfall above. Now, in my last video that I put out, if any of you want to look at that, I'm creating a homebrew HF transceiver. And I'm using an SDR that both transmits and receives. And the hardware that you will see in this box basically consists of a coax relay. And I'm writing a custom GNU radio block to control all this stuff. I should point that out. And so the graph that I'm showing you now is receive. I also have the flow graphs to transmit, upper sideband, lower sideband. And by the way, look up here at this drop down. There's upper sideband. We can hit the drop down and lower sideband. So with the hardware that you see in my latest video, there's a 2-watt wideband power amp that's in the box. We bought a grab bag of old Kenwood HF filter boards, and I think the filter board cost $11 that's in the box. One of my anonymous friends then the relays that are in the filter work on 12 volts, and I'm driving the software is using a chip. It's called an FT232H. The output voltage is around 1.3 volt, and so my software will control the chip. There's some hardware. Again, you can get into the details that'll flip. If I'm on 20 meters, it'll energize the filter bank for 20 meters. Same for the other HF bands. So, this thing goes on and on and on. And so in doing it this way, there's no nanny controls. That's what I call them. You can do whatever you want. Now, that said, it's incumbent upon all of us to always make sure that we're FCC compliant with anything that we're transmitting. The project that I'm just describing to you, I would call that an advanced hobbyist. And so my channel targets SDR related content for beginner, intermediate, and advanced hobbyists. Okay, let's continue. I know there's a lot here. You're all doing amazingly well. So I keep mentioning my YouTube channel, and it's Maine 6433. And with every one of my videos, any files related to that particular video, I have them in my GitHub repository. And if you've never used GitHub or don't know how to download the files, well, guess what? I have a video that shows you how to do that. So before I hit questions, there's actually one other thing I want to do is just show you some other SDRs. And so there may be some of you that's on the live stream that has SDR Play SDRs. They certainly have some good ones, and AirSpy does as well. In terms of HF SDR receiver, to me, I don't think you can beat this particular one. It's the AirSpy HF Plus Discovery, and this thing does work with GNU radio as well. Now, from here, you can go up in price. There's a brand new SDR. I think Gary Schaefer's still on the call. Jerry, can you provide an update on the last release date that you've heard? Or I'm not sure if Gary is online still. So at any rate, oh, okay, there he is. Last he's heard was end of October. Now, this thing is very interesting. This one you can both receive and transmit, and this goes all the way down to 100 kilohertz. It goes up to 6 gigahertz. And so I think Gary's already placed a pre-order for his. I have not done that myself yet. So that's a good one. If I remember right, and I'm not sure how much tariffs have impacted this, but the price point was around $300. Gary, if you've got a different price, feel free to add that to the chat. Now, you can keep going up in price and capabilities. I have this Blade RF, and now we're getting into SDRs that have FPGAs built on board, and these things are really fast and has lots of capabilities to transmit, to receive channels. And you heard me mention earlier this SDR is called a red pitaya, and there's many more. I know Gary's got some experience with some SDRs that I do not, but you can't go wrong with any of these that I've shown here. All right, questions. Thank you for indulging me. Going through all that math stuff, complex numbers, can put you to sleep, and I tried to keep it as interesting and simplify it as best I could. So, what questions do you have? I'm watching the chat.
Questions for Paul, guys. You
Yeah,
can chat and let us know.
just put in the chat, guys. We'll get it to him.
I will say, very, very informative presentation, Paul. Looks like we got our first chat there from GP
Yep.
What antennas do you recommend I use for SDR Play and RSP Duo? Please explain High Z.
So, as hams, we all know how important it is to make sure we're matching impedance, certainly for transmitting. Receiving is much more forgiving, and if you can, you can do a lot on the cheap with these little rabbit ears that come with that $50 kit that I showed you from Amazon. I have adapters, of course, to go from my 2 meter, 70 centimeter antennas to SDRs. And then I've got a couple of HF antennas, and I usually match things to just like we normally do to 50 ohms. Now, precise solutions for SDRs, if you want to reach out with, to me offline, I'm glad to help you. And the other thing I want to mention is with my channel, I'm 100% open if you'd like me to cover new topics. Feel free to just go to any one of my videos and just make a suggestion. And, it doesn't even have to be amateur radio related. I had one gentleman that asked me to do a video of building a receiver to pick up airband and listen to that.
There's a lot of people that are very fascinated with airband. It's not me, but I don't understand it. A lot of people love the airband stuff. Ramp Rat certainly understands.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, I work at the airport, and most of my HTs, my 991A, got airband program in the tower, and I listen all the time.
Cool. Now, you can also, when I lived in Austin, I worked at a financial services company as a software architect and engineer. And I worked with a guy that wrote a very popular piece of software that's used to pick up and listen to trunk radio systems. And I am planning to do a future video on that as well. Now, in that case, I'd suggest you need a minimum of 2 RTL SDRs. But, depending on where you live, it may be good to have 3 or 4.
For sure.
Right.
GP Mech says he uses the RTL SDR version 3 and a 1090 antenna in the attic for ADSB.
Okay, cool. I think I have a video too that shows you how to make a homebrew 1090 ADSB antenna if you don't want to buy one.
Jason down below is asking, will it do marine band?
The SDRs will pretty much do any band as within the limitations of the SDR. I do not recall off the top of my head marine band frequencies. If Jason, if you could, give me a rough idea.
Yeah, Jason, you can talk.
I had a minute. Sorry, the fire department and EMTs were going by, and I didn't want it screaming through the video. What I in NASCAR, that's why I've been muted. Basically, what my question is, Paul, is just the regular Marine bands, like the 1 through 16 channel Marine band, like you would buy a Marine band radio, just the basic.
I don't know what those frequencies
But are you talking
are.
VHF Marine or which Marine are you talking?
VHF, the basics, just basic.
VHF is 156 through 162.0375.
Thank you, Dave.
And what modulation are they using?
I think they're
I think it's
AM, aren't they?
Uh,
Is it AM or FM? I thought it
AM,
was
I believe.
AM.
It's AM because it's the same as aviation, I believe.
Okay. I have not done that, but that should be easy to do.
Okay. Thanks, Paul.
Gary is saying FM in the chat.
yeah, I think they are
Oh.
FM on the
It
Marine.
is FM? I thought it
Maybe
was
they
AM.
are. Maybe they are.
Okay. I'll have to look that up again.
I don't own a boat, so I don't know much about marine radio.
Well,
Jeep-
VHF's different from the HF.
right.
Yeah, it's NFM. That's what I thought. Narrow FM.
Yep.
25 kilohertz.
GP says, I hear my neighbor's freezer security system and tire pressure monitoring system on 433.
Yeah, good point. I also have a YouTube video on this subject, decoding your neighbor's, they call it industrial, scientific, medical devices. And there's a lot of them at 433 megahertz.
Mhm.
So I've got a nice video that shows you how you can do that. And I am just getting set up with this software that's called Home Assistant at the house. And basically, you can make a smart home, integrate all kinds of alarms and sensors, video cameras, but I can also pick up my neighbors. Like I've got a neighbor, I'm not exactly sure where they live, but they have like a real high end home weather station, and all that data is sent out there on 433 megahertz, and I show how to decode that. And I in my video, I'm just spitting out the plain text, but I'm going to then write some simple Python code that will strip out the pertinent data and then include it in the user interface of my home assistant dashboard. And then it's like I've got a real expensive weather station. I didn't pay a dime for it.
And funny thing you mentioned, Paul, the 433. When I first got my All-Star, my default node frequency number was 433,500. I was picking up my household right down the road. I could tell when they were having a trauma call, cold blue. I could hear everything. So I had to put mine up to 439 because I was like, I don't want to hear them all night.
Yes, yes.
Any other
All right.
questions? Chat or panelists? Any other questions? This has been really good.
Yes, it has been.
Yes, it has. I really appreciate this, Paul. I learned a lot, and your PowerPoint has blown my mind. I have no words for it. It's just like, wow.
Well, thank you. And I also thank the folks that I mentioned on the front end, which are important folks for helping me grow. Now, I want to tell you right now, I don't know everything there is to know about digital signal processing. In fact, I'm learning new things every day. But here's what I can tell you is there's a lot of folks that know this stuff, but my experience, many of them are academic snobs of sorts, and they don't want to condescend to talk to somebody that doesn't have a PhD or master's degree or whatever in this particular subject. So I'm learning, I'm studying hard, I'm watching lots of YouTube videos. Gary Schaefer, that's on the line, he's been a tremendous help to me. Gary has some very, very deep experience with this stuff. And again, Gary, I cannot thank you enough and sure appreciate you joining the call tonight.
It's all a learning curve, Paul.
GP Max says, should I buy the Hermes Light 2 or spend the big bucks on a fancy radio? Also says he appreciates the intro into GNU radio. Never messed with it.
Okay, cool beans. So that is a question that probably would be best. How do you guys take a conversation offline with, folks that are meeting up here?
A lot of times I'll give my email or I'll tell them to message me in Discord or something like that. Or just, you can tell, if you're good in QRZ, you can always tell them to email you in QRZ.
Let me quickly look at the email I'm using there. One moment.
While he's looking it up,
Thank you, GP.
we got one. Finally
Yes, we
got
did.
one. You know what that means?
Play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man. All right, let's.
GP Max 7 with the 5. Thanks for the show. Appreciate you being here, buddy.
Thank you, G-Mac.
How do I get rid of it? There we go. It's like trying to figure out how to get rid of the music every night.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get you sticky notes.
Well, that's part of why I got the Stream Deck, to make that easier, but StreamYard doesn't work well with Stream Deck for some reason.
Notice that. You'll get it figured out, Josh.
Yep, it's just playing. I just started setting it up last night.
So I will, Josh, do you have an email for yourself that you put out there now? I do not have anything out there with my call details, and I can, you can pass along this person's contact to me, then I'll email them and pick it up that way, and then I'll get a new email address to use for just this type of thing moving forward.
Yeah, we can do that. GP, I'm putting the email in the chat there. Just shoot me an email and I'll get you hooked up with Paul there. Any other questions for Paul before we do something?
That's something, yeah. Like I said, this was very mind-blowing. My hands were still spinning on this.
Yeah, very good stuff. And guys, go I just checked Paul's channel a minute ago. He's gained a few subscribers just since we've been on, so that's great.
Good.
Yeah, if y'all haven't already, go subscribe to Paul. I'm going to drop that link in the chat one more time there. GP Max already said I subscribed to Paul's channel. You did the right thing.
Cool.
Yeah, Paul makes some good videos, really good stuff.
So there's one other project that's underway now is I'm about to get online on 10 gigahertz. And so I bought an old Kenwood all mode 2-meter radio. And then the output of this thing is going to be modified so it only outputs like 50 milliwatts. The output of that then will go into a transverter, and the transverter then will kick it up to 10 gigahertz. And I'm going to be using upper sideband with this thing. So there will be forthcoming YouTube videos that will show all of this. And so I'm starting out for that project using the Kenwood radio I just described, but eventually I'm going to use one of these other SDRs and get rid of the Kenwood.
It's interesting. I know that my audience doesn't know, but I know Scott from the club is really big into 10 gig.
Yes.
All right, Paul. Well, got anything else for us?
No, not at all. So again, thank you all very much. I know this was a whole lot to, drinking from a fire hose per se. But,
yeah.
I hopefully this will get you going. And there is in this video, I did do a version of this video for our amateur radio club, and that's out there as a YouTube video, and the slides and all that, all the files are out there, and the resources are given in the video. So you can easily go and download that stuff, review it, replicate it with your own hardware.
Yeah, absolutely. And this video, of course, if you want to go back and recap it, it will be there available after the show throughout eternity until the Lord comes back, I guess. What you got there, Ramp Rat?
I'm just popping my head. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking here, wrapping my head around all this good input. Now, with Mr. Paul, with this system, is it compatible with Yaesu radios, or is it just Icon products?
The SDRs will work with, in this context, I guess you're implying using this as a pan adapter. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I love the 991A, but that's the one song I give is the waterfall. Either that, the radio's great, but the waterfall they're not going to approve it because, since they built it. But I was looking, since there's no way, like the new radios, you can connect a DVI connector and, hook it to a computer screen and boom, you got it. On the 911A, you have no way of doing that. You would have to add a pan adapter or some kind of adapter to get what you're talking about.
I would need to take a closer look. So let's again trade emails going through Josh, and I'll be happy to research that. I will tell you, for my 7300, I bought an add-on board that when I bought my 7300, and it does a pass-through on the antenna tuner on the back. Cool. And then there's a little jack there that then you can plug your SDR in, whatever it is you want to use for that.
Thank you, sir.
Outstanding. Well, Paul, thanks for coming in. You're welcome. We'll probably stay here for another 30 minutes or so and talk about whatever. With Jason around, who knows what it might come up with. But otherwise, we appreciate you being here, and you're free to come in, go out, unless Dave got something. He just jumped in there all of a sudden. You're muted.
You're muted.
I see that. Josh was asking about using an SDR with his 991A. There's nothing special you need. You just need an SDR. Like if you got an SDR play, RSP, you need... It is a receiver TR switch. What it is, it's MFJ makes them, so you might be able to find one. You'll have to look around because MFJ is not around anymore. What it is, it's a transmit receive switch. You hook your antenna into this, you hook the SDR into this, and you hook your 991 antenna out into this. Then your SDR will plug into your computer. And that's how you bring your pan adapter. You bring your waterfall onto the computer.
That's a simple way, yeah.
I had the 991A, and this is what I utilized, was this right here.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Dave, thank you. I had actually bought one of those just exactly what you're showing there, and it worked good.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't recall because it's been a few years ago why I moved to the board that is on the inside of the 7300, but that one there works good.
Well,
And
he's got the 710, and the 710 he's just barely got it. So I don't know that with Yesu, I don't know that I'd want to be good putting a board and drilling holes to put a pan adapter on
I'm
that
not real big
when
fan
he
about
could
that.
use this because he's got a
Yeah.
3-year warranty.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, Dave. That's what you need there, Jason.
Okay, copy. I'll get with you, Dave.
Okay.
All right. GP is asking, does it interfere with a tuner function?
Are you talking about the transmit switch? No, not at all.
Interesting. And John's saying he's got one too. I will point one thing out, and I think everybody knows it. MFJ may be gone, but a lot of the MFJ products have been rebranded as Intellitron by Gigapart.
Yeah.
So
I
I don't know if they got that one.
I have not seen this with the Intellitron yet.
Yeah. So just keep if you're looking for something MFJ, look at Intellitron. Some things they've taken over, some things are still floating out there, but Intellitron's available through Gigaparts. HamShackTV coupon code gets you double points. You got to throw that in there.
Yeah, the person that asked if it interferes with the antenna tuner function, not at all. Because what this does, it isolates. You run your tuner, it's going to isolate that SDR, so it's not feeding into the SDR, and it's just going to go right through and tune on.
Like a regular antenna tuner.
Yep.
Yeah. So that little box is doing the same job as that last project video that I have on my channel, where it's a coax switch. So normally I'm in listen mode. I'm using 2 SDRs, one for receive and then one for transmit. And whenever you're transmitting, just as Dave said, you don't want that power running through to your SDR, you'll burn it up. So the switch flips and prevents that from happening.
Cool. Thank you, Miss Paul and Dave.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Paul, you can either stick around, or if you want to head out, you're more than welcome to head out. But I appreciate you coming in tonight. This has been fun.
All right. Well, thank you. It's been fun for me. I would normally stick around, but as I mentioned at the onset, still catching up on the time zone changes and jet lag. So thanks, everybody. And don't hesitate to reach out to me. If I can assist in any way, I'm happy to do so.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
See you, Paul. Thanks.
Thank you.
73.
All right. I'm not afraid to admit a lot of that was way over my head, but
but I loved it. It was. I was reading as he was going on. I was like, oh my God, this system is like, wow, it's above its time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well,
the 3 Musketeers are here.
Yep. We I do want to shout out Michael. He had to step out a little early. He is waving the hand, and he also wanted to say thank you, Paul. He loved Paul's presentation. Of course, we know Andy couldn't stay with us tonight. So, yeah. Don't think we have really any other serious topics to cover. Obviously, the HOA thing is still ongoing, so if you haven't already, do the awrl.org/HOA thing. That way you can get heard by your representatives. Haven't heard any updates on that.
Probably not going to hear anything for a little bit right now anyways, since the government's shut down.
That's
all right. You can't get your tech license right now.
Well, Congress is still working though, but I'm sure all they're focusing on is the government.
No, they're not. The House ain't even in Washington right now.
How do you shut down the government and you're not there?
Walk away.
What? Clearly.
Mike Johnson did the continuing resolution and sent them home.
Yep.
But
And
we're not going to get political.
No, let's not do that.
Well, we can always, we have no topics or anything. We not got anything going on. We can always turn this into Clubhouse.
Well, yeah. Hey, by the way, guys, let's do this since we've got a little time here tonight.
Go ahead.
I'm going to drop the link in the chat here, and we'll do a little trade and post roundtable here. If you've got anything you want to buy, sell, or trade, click on the link that I just dropped in the chat. You'll join the call just like we are here. And all we ask is that you come on camera, and whatever you want to sell is ham radio related. We have determined that that does include drones. So you can hang an antenna with a drone. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. So
what you do with a kite?
Well, see, Jason, he's doing that, and only one of the two that called him out on it is actually on the stream tonight. It was me and Marvin that called him out on it.
I know you did. I know you did. I watched the replay. It was funny. It's how.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's see here. So yeah, you just click on the link and you can join the call with us here. I'll see you pop up. I do want to let everybody know next week we are having Michael. Goodness gracious, I couldn't think of his name. From NARA. He's going to come on. I don't know if he's going to be a full-time special guest, but next week is NARA's club week.
Really?
So he's going to come on and talk about that. I've got some other irons in the fire that I'm trying to work out for next week. We'll see if they come to fruition or not. But did want to announce on the stream tonight too that the camper is done. The camper is done. I posted the video on that the other night. Here we go. You know what that means?
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man. All right,
I had to do it.
$1.99. He's not hearing the $1 million man enough, so he had to do it. So
I was getting lonely over here,
Hey, I will say this: when I was building this stream deck last night, you'd be proud of me because I was literally thinking about you when I did it.
Oh, cool!
You'll see.
Oh, I gotta see it. Oh yes, you are. I am not worthy. Thanks, Josh.
I'm not using that button just yet. For one, not enough for your super chatting yet. But beyond that, that button's not quite working right. I tried it earlier and it.
So the display's working, but you haven't got the kinks out of it yet. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it'll play the clip, but it's wonky. Like it's really wonky getting it back to where I need.
Like audio wonky or video wonky?
Both.
Okay. We'll wait till you get it fixed, and then you can hit the little magic button.
Yeah, I love my buttons. It's making it a little bit easier. But anyway, camper's done. You can see Jason's in there giving a hallelujah because he's the one that's been doing the work. Appreciate him doing that. Y'all can see the video, the whole story and what was actually wrong, that kind of stuff. I posted that video a couple of days ago. Let's see here what's going on in the chat. Y'all are talking back and forth about the SDR thing. GP Mech says, I was thinking you could use the drone to get your line way up in a tree, or you could mount your Mesh-tastic device to it.
I've got a buddy that has actually done it, and Spec 5 is actually making a drone mesh.
Yes.
My buddy mounted his to his drone and took his Mesh-tastic 400 feet in the air and was able to see nodes all the way to Jeff City, which is about 300 miles away.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep, absolutely. I'm glad you said that about Spec 5 because they were they definitely do that. I do have a Spec 5 deal, guys. AA4WX.com. You can go find that Spec 5 link if you're interested in them.
Yeah, I'll be doing an interview with Daniel in November because they're actually coming up and going to be a vendor at our Hamfest.
Great.
Nice.
That's a nice get for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else is going on? John says, so I could use the drone to keep a vertical wire up for short time use. I would not recommend. Depends on the type of drone. Because a lot of them are not, well, that, and a lot of them, they're not payload rated well enough. You could only get so much up in the sky before the weight's too much for it.
It depends on what size wire it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're me pulling paracord up was too heavy for mine. Now, mind you, mine is not designed whatsoever for a payload.
Well, and there's paracord. There's wires that 26 gauge and 28 gauge wires that's used in antennas that is lighter than paracord.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it'd be just like using a kite, like POTA Power did. They actually had a wire in the air with the kite on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and a lot of times those will just stay there.
And Vaughn tried to become Benjamin Franklin.
Oh yeah,
because the storm was coming in, and they had to pull it down. He actually did get zapped off of it just from the static on the.
He forgot to put the key on it.
Well, I mean, I think the wire does enough.
Oh yeah, it was just the static itself.
Pepe's in the house. Hey, Pepe, good to see you. Thanks for the show. Paul was UFB. I think that's unfreaking believable. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I subscribed to his channel now, 73. Great to see you, Pepe. Glad to see you in here. Jason says T1000E works great on a drone. I've not even thought about that, putting a T1000 on one. Those are pretty lightweight. I mean, that's a credit card. Pretty much.
Instead of trying to get mine to work.
You need to get with Dave.
Steve.
What do you mean trying to get it to work? What'd you do wrong? Is it
Nothing.
Seed Studio?
Yeah, Seed, yeah. I got it, plugged it in, it turned on. That's all it does. It won't connect to the app. It won't do nothing. It's a nice paperweight. I didn't do anything to it.
You might have got a dud. You need to get with Dave.
I'm thinking the same thing because I watched every single video that Seed's got out, how to turn it on, how to reboot it. It won't you do a reboot when you press the plug down like this. It's got little DIN plugs. It's supposed to go down. It won't reset. Only thing it does is in the middle of it, it's got a little green light and it sits there. But I'm thinking the same thing, Josh. I got a dud.
Yeah, Dave's not going to let you be unsatisfied.
KI5MIV, send him an email.
Yeah.
What they call him? K-Booty? Or something like that?
No, K-Booty's somebody else.
Oh, close enough. Can you Bluetooth to what? Oh, can you Bluetooth? Have you tried to? Are you seeing Bluetooth on it when you're trying to connect to it?
I got all my Bluetooths on. It's not even showing Bluetooth. It's not even trying to connect. Every time I hit scan, it said it cannot be found. And I got it right by my phone like this.
I don't know. GP says better than normal paracord, Atwood microcord. I bet your drone could take this up.
Yeah, I bet it could.
I've actually done fishing wire before, and fishing wire does really good. But it scares the heck out of me to get caught in the props. So you have to be very careful. Because you'll never know it. You'll never see it get caught. It's going to be on the ground before it gets caught. Let's see here. Pepe has a correction. UFB is ultra fine business, a very common ham abbreviation in European areas.
Nice.
Ultra fine business is great. I still like unfreaking believable.
I thought it was something else at first. I really did. I was like, oh, Pepe. Really? Good job, Pepe.
Yeah. Well, got about 12 minutes left. We don't have to wait that long. If there ain't nothing going on, we can cut it early. What y'all got anything y'all want to bring up?
No.
I put a pink tutu up, I
You
can-
saw that before the government shut down. You saw they're starting to go after some of the 7,200 guys, right?
I did
Oh,
see that.
yeah.
I,
They're
I've been,
hitting them hard.
I forgot
Well,
all
they went
about
after
that.
one of them because he was talking to himself.
Yes, I read that. I'm like,
Yeah, one-way communication.
what the hell is wrong with this guy? Multiple personality disorder or something?
Oh,
I
and
don't know.
it gets better, Josh.
He was using a
made
call sign that doesn't even exist.
This.
Well, that's how you get yourself screwed really easily.
But he was using his real call sign. But
Mhm.
the call sign he was calling is not a call sign that exists.
Nope. And this guy was in Florida too.
Yeah. Well, that's like you see on the news all the time. A Florida man. It's always a Florida man.
Or Miami, a murder in Miami again at 11 o'clock. Oh God, when I lived in Florida, that's all I heard.
Yeah. So yeah, at least we're starting to. Maybe they're sending a message now. You know, FAFO, so to speak.
Well, they're doing that, and then they're shutting down the so-called bad Chinese labs, which I didn't realize there was Chinese labs that
Oh yeah.
they had agreed. Well, I knew there was Chinese labs here, but the FCC allowed them to pass the radios for the United States.
Mm-hmm. Well, Part 9 unit, yeah.
I can't tell you how much I disagree with that. Period. That why are we letting labs that are offshore approve stuff for United States law? I don't understand that.
The labs are here in the United States.
Yeah.
They are just owned
by
the Chinese.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they were allowing them to do this. But I'm sorry for American radios, and I'm not going to badmouth Chinese radios. I have them. I can grab over here on my HT shelf and pull 7 different radios that are Chinese made.
Well, you want to talk about Chinese stuff, not ham radio, but this right here that I'm looking into is Chinese. It's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And then this is my DJI Mini 3 drone, which is also Chinese. So I'm surrounded in China. It's part of the world.
Well, my gimbal Ziff, I can't remember. It's basically DJI's competition, but it's a Chinese. You got the same manufacturer gimbal, the one you picked up at. I think you picked it up at Huntsville.
Not anymore. It's sold. I could. I got rid of it. For one, I didn't need it because I got the Osmo. But for two, for my typical camera that I use at HamFest, which is this guy, the Sony ZV-1F, it's too light. Like it can't balance because it's too light.
Oh man, I wish I'd have known you were selling it because that would have worked for my ZFC. Actually, it's my wife's ZFC that I use.
You want to know the sad part is, Josh, about this whole ordeal about the labs being in there and not being Part 90? I hate to say it, even if they make them Part 90 and lock them out, it ain't gonna do no good.
No, I mean, you've got crap that's shipped here all the time that has no FCC.
No,
still.
they're not just locking them out. They're not allowing them to test and pass these radios. Their labs won't be able to do nothing for anything that's coming to USA anymore. And you say Part 90. Part 90 is commercial.
Oh, wait. Is that Part 97 or Part 90?
Part 97 is ham. I thought Part 90 was GMRS FRS.
I thought that was 95. I could be wrong.
You could.
I'm tired.
Right.
I'm tired.
It's some part. Yeah, some part. Yeah. But yeah, get out part, Jason. What I was getting at, the sad part is it don't really matter if you lock that radio out or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
It is private land mobile radio service. So I think you're right. I think that means commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Private land.
Yeah, GMRS is Part 95.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's you were right. I was wrong. See, I'm always wrong. But that's why I've got you here to fact check me.
Yeah. No. It's a dumb old hillbilly over here.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10 you're right. That's the part.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Blind squirrel always finds a nut.
Not what she said. Never mind, I'm gonna shut up.
All right,
Need
well,
help, Dave.
we'll get ready to tear it down here. I do want to let everybody know Saturday is the Chattanooga Ham Fest down in Ringgold, Georgia. Yes, it's the Chattanooga Ham Fest, but it's going to be in Ringgold, Georgia, which is right outside of Chattanooga, just across the state line. I'm planning on going down there. I don't know if the XYL is going to allow it, but I would like to go down there and get you all some. It's our twin boys' first birthday this weekend.
Nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Hey Josh, how long you been married?
11 years.
I wouldn't go to the Ham Fest.
Considering
I've been 34. Trust me, raised 3 kids. I wouldn't go to the Ham Fest.
Well, yes, but I'm also planning on going down, leaving here early. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive for me. Leaving here early, getting down there, walking through, getting footage, leaving and getting back. So I don't know. My goal would be to get back by noon, but nonetheless, guys, if you're in North Georgia, East Tennessee, North Alabama, go check out the Chattanooga Ham Fest this weekend at the Colonnade in Ringgold, Georgia. It's Friday and Saturday. This is a weird one because they do Friday and Saturday instead of Saturday and Sunday.
Here we go.
That's like the one I'm going to next weekend. AWRL Midwest Convention at Sedalia. It's a Friday and Saturday show. Yep.
And as far as the camper goes, it is out in the yard, locked up, and winterized. So that'll be it for this year on the camper now that it's fixed. I am probably around the 1st of February. I'm going to open it up, start cleaning it up, get it ready for Orlando. So, but 100% we can certify that camper is ready and safe for that trip.
Well, and like the wire you guys found.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah, I watched part of it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but watching that, the things that he didn't disclose. But most people, unless they're like me or a TO where they actually work on stuff like that, aren't going to catch that unless they start tearing stuff apart.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, how long has this been going on?
He's probably lucky he didn't fry his stuff. But if he had an older vehicle too, see, yours being a newer vehicle, that causes issues there too.
Well, it scared the hell out of me and Jason because it happened on Jason's truck too. Luckily, the adapter stopped it because he had a 4 to a 7-pin adapter on it, and that's what stopped it from getting to his truck. But whoo boy, let me tell you, he's got that 2020. See, there he is. Since it was built, I have a 2020 Honda Ridgeline, which has all the LED crap on the back end of it, and that would have been expensive.
Oh yeah, that would have been a number with a bunch of zeros.
Yes, had that gone kaboom. So we're very, very fortunate that worked out the way it did.
I got a question for you, Dave, when you get a chance.
You have the chance now. Go for it.
I got a question for you, Dave. I'm trying to do a permanent setup at home here. You see where you see me at. This is usually where I talk at home, unless I'm at the park. I was looking at window adapters that you can put in your window. What would you recommend best window adapter so I can hook my coax cable up and everything and keep everything inside, and at the same time keep the window closed and locked so I don't have to leave it open?
What kind of windows do you have?
Standard windows. I guess you had to take.
Well, if you're not worried about running really more than 50 watts through the window, Comet makes a pass through that's flat. You can close the window, slow down on it, lock it up just fine. If you want to run 100 watts, I'd figure out a way that you could build a lock in your window up top if it goes up and down, and build you a board pass through with actual SO239s on it. Do it that way, because most of the flat pass-throughs, they're not going to be ready. Now, I'm not going to say I haven't ran my pass-through over 50 watts, but I'm doing it on VHF. But they are rated for 50 watts. They're not supposed to be over 50 watts.
I've heard bad things about those flat ones that they go out bad.
Comets. I've had comets in this window for 3 years and ain't had a problem with it.
Okay, cool. No, I found one. I don't know. I'm real skeptical to get it. I think I found one in Gigaparts and one in DXN here. It's the wood one, like you said. It's got the 239 connectors all the way down. Ground wire to the far left, wing nut. Comes with the rubber, I guess, window seal you put it on top, and so when you shut the window, it's flush. But what I'm concerning me, well, my window's still locked. Way it's set, they're explaining it should, but I want to make sure 100%.
Depending on what the window is, no, you're probably gonna have to build some rods or something to put it above that to keep it from going up and down.
Yeah,
because you got to figure if that's 2 inches, that pass through's 2 inches tall. It's gonna go in your window under the bottom, and it's gonna move your window up 2 inches. Your locks are not gonna lock.
So we're basically doing old school, basically where we cut a broomstick when we had the sliding glass door, put it in the crack, and good to go. Except this way, you'd be doing vertical.
Even I still use those that in my sliding glass door to this day.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people do. All right, thanks, Dave.
If we get the new house, I'm going to have to do that with our sliding glass door. That's our number one fear with that new house is the kids getting out there to that pool.
Opening it up. Yeah.
So.
Josh.
You might want to look at, Josh, doing one of those, depending on what kind of patio doors it are. They've actually got kits where you could drill through and put a pin up high to where the kids can't reach that.
Yeah, whatever it is, it will be up high.
Okay, because
that's what I have in my house. Yeah, in Florida.
Well, they do make ones for the doors like that you can lock out, that you can put up high. But as soon as you said kids, I'm like, oh nope, that's the on the ground pole that don't work.
Yeah. I can vouch for Dave. My mom's house, she had that in Florida. I guess every house they built there, because ours was a model house, but every house around there had what Dave said. It had the pin in the top, it had a little chain, and once you stuck that thing in there, that door was not going to open. There was only one way you're breaking that glass, but it would keep your kids from opening and closing that door.
Yep, sure enough. And Jason followed up about that camper. The problem that we found was there from the day it was built, and we know it was. I always forget about this, but so basically everybody knows it's a pop-up camper. If you haven't watched the video, go watch the video, but it's a pop-up camper. On the back driver corner, you've got the post that cranks up, right? That cranks the whole top up.
Yeah.
Well, right next to that is a nut or something that 2 of the wires pass through. One's a ground, one's a hot. And for whatever reason, when StarCraft built that camper, they had it go to or further towards the back in a bunch, and one of the screws was driven straight through it.
It was probably built on Friday in December.
Probably. And it just took it's just taken 28 years that the campers existed to actually finally wear itself out and start
arcing.
Not necessarily arcing, but passing the 12 volts throughout the entire metal part of the camper.
A straight feed, yeah.
Jason was so into finding the short that he forgot to video the problem we found, and that is indeed the case. That is indeed the case. Well, not to mention it was also like midnight. So
redo it again.
No, hell no. I literally went to his house to pick it up, and as we were pulling it out of the driveway, I see the one light out, and I'm like, something's wrong. So we ended up having to circle back and spend about 2 or 3 hours back there tearing the hind end of that camper apart, trying to find whatever it was. But we did.
Right.
Thank God. All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's 22:02 my time. We'll start with Jason. What do you got going this week?
Not much. Just a bunch of work. Playing with All-Star. And trying to make a lot of contacts in HM. That's about it. I mean, nothing going on right now. Besides the weather's changing. And remind me to get with T.O. about my jacket. But either that, that's about it.
Fantastic. All right, Dave, your turn.
With work right now, I don't have a whole lot going on. Getting prepared for the club that I'm vice president of, HamFest in November. Also getting prepared for the HamFest that's the Midwest AWR convention coming up next weekend. And hopefully work will slow down a little bit. I can start working on some of my projects. But other than that, I mean, I'm not getting videos out, but work's got to come first.
Right.
That's the unfortunate part. Well, I'm looking down the road. About 3 weeks, I'll be on an airplane to Detroit. I come home. I'll be up in Detroit for Friday and Saturday, come home Sunday, and then I get on an airplane to go to Los Angeles. So that's all coming up here in about 3 weeks. Yay,
What
me.
you doing?
Huh?
What are you going to Los Angeles for?
Adobe Max.
You get out of here with that. Crap.
Go. You trader. Go.
What's wrong with you, Dave?
You know how I feel about Adobe. I used to love Adobe,
Here we
but
go.
when they went to that subscription stuff, I got no use for them anymore.
I don't pay for my Adobe. The university does. So let them. I'll let, if they fund it, they can go all about it. Real quick before we cut it off here, Jason says, "Tell my peeps at Cardinal Health I said hi down here in GRB." I don't know what that
Will
means.
do, Jason.
GRB. Greensboro. What the heck?
Greensboro.
I was going to
Greensboro.
say that. I was about to ask, well, wait.
I was thinking
Greensboro.
Great Britain or something.
Sticky nose. Sticky nose gripping your future. Okay. Pink tutus and tick. Come on. Hey,
All right.
you must be a ham upper? Okay.
All right, fellas, I'll put you all out, and I'll come back to you after I get off air here. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I know we've had a couple of technical hiccups because I'm learning this new equipment that I have here. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, you don't know how far that helps the channel and the stuff that we do here on HamShackTV. Why is my music not playing? Nothing is working. Well, if that ain't going to work, that will, or it should. Anyway, whatever. I don't know if the music's working or not, but y'all have a good night. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Go check out Paul's channel too. We featured that earlier in the chat. And if you want to support HamShackTV, super thanks are available. Channel memberships are also available. All that good stuff. And you can see the links down in the description for all my affiliate links and things like that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video with 73s, 84WX, WSCB 693. And I don't know if the music's playing, so Jason, this is for you.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man. All right.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.